1:11 p.m. Omotaki Ayasen. I'm so tired. I have had my sleep interrupted several nights now. And some of it could be associated as my fault because I am leaving my telephone next to my head when I'm sleeping at night. And there is this interference from the world not aligned with my schedule. You know, there all this influence or infiltration of my timeline interfering my sleeping patterns and my spending of energy patterns. I am also at times struggling to really value myself and my time. Many times my time is spent places that I am questioning why had I spent so much time when there really wasn't equal receiving for what I was extending and giving at the time. The lack of equal energetic exchange. However, many times I have been incapable of truly recognizing and acclaiming these truths. Or should I say acknowledging, like acting upon that knowledge, acting upon the knowledge of recognizing that it was not an equal energetic exchange, and then attempting to find the boundaries and like the price of my time and my energy, especially like imagine this, like if you had a booking from 1 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock in the morning, would you charge double your rate or any extra price extra? Or is it the same price? Or would you just simply like, is there no price that is worth working at that time? Or just like, are you worshiping and in need of money so you are willing? So there's all that, and like there's an important quote that comes to mind that is, if money can fix the problem, it's not a real problem. And I can witness and feel and know and see the truth in where sometimes it seems like money would just fix everything. Or the other aspect of sometimes, you know, maybe we spend $6 here, $10 there, and this little small thing that we think is going to bring us more happiness in this moment, in this now. Maybe it's a coffee or a drink, or maybe there's some story that we say it's justified that we spend, you know, basically our energy. If we work so hard to make this paper, then we are spending that paper to get certain things that we are saying this is worth all of our time and our energy and like our trade. You understand what we're getting back? And I feel like recognizing and holding ourselves accountable to our goals and really getting our behaviors in alignment with a statement that is speaking without words what we are choosing and what we really enjoy, instead of what we fear or what we're scared of. I'm so grateful to have the friends and the people that I do right now. It makes me instantly want to cry. And I'm having a little bit of a hard time leaving the state of Florida and moving. I have a lot of appreciation for the discovery of God being here and the sunshine and just like the freedom that's come with like discovering myself and falling in love with myself and really enjoying my journey. And there's like all of this like self-shame or like hatred and abandonment of like really not fully being sure of myself, or that I know myself, or that I am enough, or that I'm doing like what's right. Like what parts of me are just like on impulse or through emotions that I'm making behaviors. And then again, like what's really serving me and like not like owning me and making me feel like a need for attachment. I'm having this extreme attachment to self-love right now. Like I am seeing where I have failed myself and I have not listened to the Holy Spirit within me, you know, guiding me. And like I'm the only one that can really like punish myself and hold myself accountable to that. I can tell people like, hey, like I'm upset I didn't do this, but are they gonna really help me get in alignment with my goals? Even if I told them, hey, tell me when I start messing up, are they really gonna tell you, or they're just gonna let you slip up in the way that only you define as slipping up against yourself and things like that? I am a big believer of having a network and us communicating with individuals and being really close with people, not just hugging and holding hands, as much as clear communication. Something so simple, right? Yet completely almost unheard about, where someone is just completely honest in their needs and their goals and their intentions and what they would like to have out of you if they had control over you, right? Like all of that slavery stuff and all of that control and manipulation and intention and hidden agendas. Is it sexually driven? Is it financially motivated? Is it emotional, It's important that we witness ourselves and that we're honest with ourselves. However, sometimes we can be framing things in the wrong way. Like maybe we're really excited, but we think that it's like fear. And that doesn't feel like a good example, because it's like, for me, like, how can we confuse those two emotions? I mean, supposedly fear and excitement are the same thing, right? That fight or flight stimulus response. However, again, one would have to like really know themselves and their body and the way that they are functioning. Like if they're really excited, nervous, or scared, or hesitant. It comes to mind of how there isn't really like a lot of like scientifically documented stuff as efficiently as one may desire about really knowing our feelings. What it means to have feelings. And many times we think that we have the same feelings of the other. However, it's very likely that it's untrue. There are possibly similar categories of emotions and functions of the nervous system and chemicals released from the brain. I'm extremely irritable with witnessing myself. I have all of these interests, and I'm behaving in accordance that is not in agreement to me truly getting what I want. And then it makes me question, like, if I want is really what I want, or if it's just a thought of something that I think I want, or something that I think comes with having this additional thing. I have not yet done my Sananga today. It is day 18. I have put some argan oil on my face. That's feeling really, really good. I have taken a tincture of astragalus and a tincture of ginkgo. And I have consumed very little rest. I believe I have fallen asleep around 5, maybe 5:30. I remember my dreams very, 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 very much so being very heart-opening and in synchronicity, I guess, is a good word. Where, like, I was dreaming basically about cacao. So it was like almost like the continuance of the cacao ceremony, but inside of the dream state. I'm so tired and I just can't sleep. I've tried to like just relax. It's not working. I can relax and just have my eyes closed and my eyeballs don't hurt for a minute anymore. But underneath that, a lot of times is like frustration and attachment to stories and expectations expectations of other people behaving and thinking and doing and just being different. I mean, there's a need for like a gratefulness for them being, so we can like refine ourselves. For example, like we could use the example of me being interrupted and awoken by other people all the time, right? So the way we change this is by removing... Oh wow, we're still going. Yes, by removing the telephone. And thanks to that person's existence of harassing me during times that are associated with times of rest, and that is not appropriate for there to be a freaking device, an AI device at that, right? To be like right next to my head. Ridiculous. It's our addictions though, right? We're like going to sleep holding tight onto our telephones, onto this type of escapism, into this communications, so many different excuses. I'm really resonating with the mixture of emotions of like, I'm not sure if I'm nervous or if I'm excited or am I scared or is it like everything. There's definitely like a lot of fear, and I'm guided that I just need to show up instead of being fearful. I'm to just do what I think I want to do. If I mess up, make repairs later. Yes, it's all we can do. It's all we can do. And sometimes the ego or the monkey mind has a decision, and there's no telling the heart, the mind, and the body, or the self, right? There's no telling Trina that she's not going to do this. However, the fun part of this is trying to find, like, what do I really want to do versus, like, what am I doing because you say I can't do it or because we think it's impossible or all these different things. Part of me is also, like, feeling like this empathic nature for the entire world, just having like this compassion where it feels like society is collapsing and there's like mere glimpses of where society is still seemingly the same. Let's just put it that way, right? Like businesses that have been here for a long time are still here, so there's like comfort in the structure, you know, in the predictability and the comfortability. And right now we're kind of like in a shaky state, you could say, you know, like there's a lot of mass fear and hysteria and brainwashing and you could say lack of collective consciousness. There's many people that are tuning out the world and really inside this deep spiritual sickness. I have a personal belief system that it's very possible that all illnesses are spiritual illnesses too. And I would love to find like well-respected individuals that like are well known for publicly stating these statements and finding what their findings were throughout their 50 years of existence or more, depending on where they were at when they produced any type of reference material of their personal thoughts and understandings of universe. I'm having such a hard time with emotions and feeling and being and sleeping and just like this whole thing is just, it's so much. It's very intimidating. And like feeling like, it's almost like a feeling like you're feeling like you're God or something like that, right? Because you can get in your car and you can drive and you have like all of this control, right? All this control, all this dangerousness. So it's like, man, what am I really creating? What am I really creating? I have a need to practice more gratitude instead of like always trying to play the game of operator and figure everything out and be the judger and predict outcomes and things like that. There's a part of me that really just needs to rest and really just needs to go deep into my own stillness and my own meditation, which many times can only be found, originally it was in nature. However, the more that I peel back the layers of everything I'm not and simply just step into that breathing and witnessing space without attachment, judgment, or control or action, the renunciation of actions, all these different things. I'm interested in really practicing my spiritual texts and really going deep within. I'm interested in possibly being available for readings if there's anyone who's interested in time and would like to hear from me. I'm available. And there's many different things we can talk about. However, perhaps you would just like to book a small session, a meeting. Take your time, listen to your intuition. I'm channeling and I'm open. I like to hold a space of silence many times too, so you can find your own answers and remind yourself that you do not need me and that you know everything that you need to know and you have everything that you need to have. Everything is borrowed. Enjoy your time, enjoy your moment. See your power to really enjoy the moment. How it changes everything. Something that comes to mind too is a topic that came up is you ever notice like when you're really, really in love, and maybe you're in love with your puppy, or maybe you're in love with your children, or maybe your family, or maybe there's just somebody that's like family but they're not. And just like when you're in love, like just how it just changes like everything, like nothing can hurt you, it feels like sometimes. Like when you're really, really in that like bliss and loving and like really grateful space, or it's almost like worship or devotion. And sometimes it feels like that devotion for God, like God has forgotten itself and has fallen asleep and chosen to live inside this body where it doesn't know who it is, and it's just like in this process of like waking up and living and existing. And then like witnessing its presence live through another being. Like perhaps you have a moment where you're like in prayer, you're in meditation, you're singing this song, and then Spirit or God, universe, the Great Spirit, uses an individual to reiterate back to you that same message that like only you and God could have known that, Sometimes I enjoy sharing with people those messages because I enjoy bringing you back home, to your Creator, because I have spent so many times where I have forgotten that Creator and I have despised it and cursed it and pushed it away and not really understood it or myself. And through that war, through that fight, has come this great, great love and this great service that it's very personal. It's a choice to like find out yourself and to ask these certain questions and then not get your answers from others, like to have your own understanding, your own clear cognizance, your own deep sense of feeling. I have been imagining also putting together some psychic development circles and possibly doing like, I don't know, maybe like a live stream or something like that, maybe through Zoom or something like that. Maybe we can have tickets. I don't really know the most professional way of going about this. Perhaps I just put out to the community and just figure out where everyone's at, what's calling in, and then shift and make accommodations. And I am imagining Zoom may be one of the greatest interfaces, possibly, only because we can combine so many different energies at once, and you have permission to turn off your camera or your sound and to mute all these things. However, there is also opportunities for you to allow yourself to be heard, seen, known, and to, tell your testimony, your own personal experiences of getting to know the Creator and yourself and all these different things that are defined as life that aren't really like things that we really teach in school or really promote to people. Perhaps some people are having religious backgrounds and they're promoting God through this like limited lens and story of being able to know God instead of having like your own personal commandments and guidances and your compass, your direction, like all those pulls, the tug. And then the choice between like, the selfishness, like choosing myself and what I want instead of like what's what ways am I needed to show up right now? What is really needed from me, and what am I capable of providing that no one else can provide? And many of you have these same identical things, and it's really up to you to speak with your actions. And that's all I can say. And I could break it down a lot more for other people, and there are people who talk about things and just talk and yak, and then there are those who do. And instead of saying I'm going to do this or that, instead just now go. Color, draw, paint. Imagine a step you can do right now that might change your life forever. Imagine something that you're afraid to do that you may think that you'll never do, that maybe you can think of, hey, possibly how could this work if this is really truly my desire? Or perhaps it's difficult for you to even find what actually brings you satisfaction and pleasure. Or perhaps it's the other way, that you're addicted to all of the pleasure, and it's important for you to learn to be with yourself instead of any sound or noise or stimulation. I mean, there's so many different aspects of this. I do have to get going. I am here at the U-Haul. I am in the process of making this giant transition across country. I am very grateful for your prayers and your intentions and your assistance throughout the whole process. Thank you for holding a space for all my dreams to come true in the future. You have sincerely been agents to my happiness and are contributing more than words will ever serve. So allow the Lord to enter through you, as you, and around you, and to explain to you and show you all these other different things. Again, if you choose, I am here. Aho. Thank you, thank you, thank you.